Hi, this is me. I'm in bed, but I kind of wanted to say something. It means something to me. Um, I just want to say that I saw my therapist today, and it was probably the best thing that I could have done for myself. I told you how I ran away from that person that was made for me, my Greek god, so to speak. He was awesome and beautiful, and we had a connection. But I had my PTSD came out, and it was something that happened that triggered it when I was with him, and that's unfortunate because I deserve to be happy, and he did too, and I would have made him happy, and he was making me happy. So, but it's just one of those things, and I'm a realist, and so if I ever get a chance to tell him, I will tell him that I won't jump out and say, "Oh, I love you. I'm waiting for you," and everything. And for those of you who wonder what those gloves are, those are my headphones, and those are my gloves. For those are my kitchen gloves. I use those to break open the lobster or the crab without getting the shells in my hands, my tender, delicate hands. But anyway, as I was saying before I got off on that silliness, um, I would say to him, I wouldn't jump up and say, "Oh, I love you," and you're the man of my dreams and all that, because I really don't know. And even though I felt he was, and I still do, but he has to get over the fact that I have this thing, and I haven't. I've been very blessed in the fact that I haven't seen it before. It's never come out in public. This PTSD that I have, but if you know how I got it, from being attacked in the military and stuff a long time ago and being held down and stuff, you would understand. So we were talking, my therapist and I, her name is Sarah. She and I were talking about how my front brain and my defense brain, my defensive mechanism to protect myself, how I was in that double quandary. So looking at him and feeling him and wanting him and loving him and everything that I was feeling at that moment was in my front brain, which is kind of like right here by my widow's peak, my front brain, and then my back brain, which is by the kitchen, in the back of my head. Um, the back brain was flight and save myself. And she said, "Don't ever be, if I ever come across it again, I'll be able to identify it because I never had it happen before. And it happened at the worst in opportune time." So that was kind of explaining to me how, while I was trying to give him my business card and still trying to talk to him because that was my front brain loving him and feeling him, and at the same time I was turning and running from him in terror because that was my flight brain, or the back of my brain. So it was a really rough thing, and it was kind of like, I'm not embarrassed by it. It's unfortunate that it happened when it did, and he may have very well been the catalyst for triggering it without knowing, because I had no idea either that it was going to happen when it happened. But the flight thing, it explains why I was looking over my shoulder in terror, because that was my flight brain, and my loving him and stay there brain was the one that was trying to give him the business card and still deal with him. So it was a horrible conundrum and a mixture of feelings. And it was very rough to go through. And it was very painful after I realized that I had been through it, and that I had done that to somebody that was potentially my next husband, or at least a friend, or something. I Because we have chemistry. His face was like Christmas when he saw me, and I was lit up like Christmas too. And then that PTSD thing triggered, and and it was a horrible experience. And so, if it was horrible for me, and I was actually going through it, and it was really bad, I'm telling you, it was horrible for me. That it might have been very horrible for him. But like a person with epilepsy, I know what happened. I know I had it happen. It was like a seizure and stuff. But I'm not penalizing myself for it because it was just a reality check. And it just was a safety factor for something that I had been through in the past. And so Sarah helped me work all that out. And so she asked me, she said, well, what are you going to say if you see him again? Because, this is San Francisco. You run into him. Well, first of all, I'm sorry. I think it must have blown his mind to see somebody go through that almost like torn, split personality kind of thing where I'm loving him and running from him at the same time. But that's just something he'll have to deal with, or I'll have to deal with, or we'll have to deal with together. It hasn't happened before, and hopefully it won't happen again. But if it does, I'll recognize it that it's not a psychotic break. And contrary to popular belief, no, I'm not nuts. I'm just a human being that has had life experiences, many unpleasant and many wonderful, wonderful. So, it's life, and I'm living it. So that was it. So if I see him, what I will tell him is, hi, I'm sorry that I know it was rough what happened the first time that we met, but I wanted to know if you would maybe like to go out with me or date me, or I'm not always like that, and maybe you'd like to take me out and see for yourself, or maybe you'd like to have a wonderful a wonderful life with me, or whatever. It's all good. But anyway, I just wanted to share this because for those of you who think that um, therapy is some kind of horrible, horrible, horrible thing. It really, as far as I'm concerned, it's been a blessing to me to, because I don't have to involve family. Like when I was going through the breakup with my boyfriend, my friends were telling me, "Girl, please don't say his name to me again." Well, see, my therapist could listen to his name all day, and she wouldn't trip. But your friends say, bitch, if you say that name one more time, I'm going to hang up in your face. I'm sick of talking about him. And I'm sick of hearing him and all about him. And so, I understand that. And so my therapist we can talk about him or anything. We can talk about virtually anything. And it's not like she's some uh, a great mind restore or anything. She just offers me some tools and some things I already know. And she offers me the tools to help me guide myself. It's not like she's waving a wand over me and curing all my ills and all that. I should be so lucky, but I've been able to take care of them all these 64 years, or ever since I've been able to think for myself and experience things for myself. So, I'm glad that she's there to give me the guidance and the direction, because here I am thinking that I had a horrible psychotic break. I never think I'm nuts, even though people do. I never think I'm nuts, but it's just my spirit, and I'm good with that. It's mine, and I'm thankful. But um, I did worry as a mental health nurse that I was having a psychotic break or something. And she said, "No, Veronica, you're not having that. You're the smartest woman I know," which is nice. But she explained what I was going through, that it something he did or that happened in our meeting triggered that incident. And it was two things that I thought triggered it, but I didn't know for sure. But anyway, I kind of suspect that it was him knowing my name in advance, which I know sounds trite and little, but it was a big thing. And then him, when I dropped my business card, I reached down to pick it up, and he was towering over me, and that was my flight thing. So when I came up, I went down as Veronica, and I came up as Veronica, get the fuck out of here. So that's what I did. So that was my front and back brain tearing itself and going through this this quandary, emotional quandary, and physical flight quandary, but I'm okay, and so I realized what happened, and so now I'm able to deal with it. And if I see him, and I've been looking for him, but I'm not putting I'm still concentrating on myself and making myself the best that I can be for me. So then when he finally comes together, or he finally sees me or whatever, then we'll be able to expand in our relationship, or take it from there. Or he can date me, and maybe it's his choice not to. I mean, he did have my business card, and he hasn't called yet. And it's been over 3 weeks, and 53 pounds lost, and I have more lost to go. But, all things in time. Um, well, I think I have salad in my teeth. Mm, at least it's kale. I gotta get up and brush them anyway. I have to go to bed, get ready, and go to bed. I go to work in the morning early, and I think San Marcos is somewhere far away. But I hope you all have a beautiful evening, and I hope you enjoyed the sunshine that I had in my day, and I hope I provided some sunshine in your day for you. And I just want to thank my mom and my family for loving me unconditionally, and for all of your love unconditionally, and for being my friend and supporting me, and yabba dabba do. So anyway, bless you all. I love you, and have a good night tonight and a beautiful day tomorrow. Ciao.